Hey there, blade lovers. Welcome back. OG Blade Reviews here with you once again. And this knife is dropping, I believe, the same day that this video is dropping. And this is something brand new from Civivi and from the designer Kyle Lamb, with a whole lot of military and tactical experience and some designs he's put out for tops along with some other companies. Can't think of them all at the moment, but that's a little sketch of what is right here in my rapid unboxing. Not going to show you everything in the box, but it's the usual Civivi stickers and so forth and so on. But we're going to get right down to this knife because elephant in the room, or on the table, so to speak, is this clip on the handle of a fixed blade. What is going on? Well, let me show you the knife first, get it out of the sheath, and we'll talk about the sheath, which is the important part here. And the sheath is what is going to make sense of that clip you saw on the other side. This is a lightweight, everyday carry with a tactical bent to it, even though we have a rather utilitarian drop point here. And that's a good thing because if you're going to carry a fixed blade around, it's good to have it do some chores as well as act as what Tim Kell likes to call a get off me a knife in a pinch. And what we've got here is, in this case, gray G10 scales. I think the other option is black G10 scales, and maybe with a black blade, I can't recall. Nitro V on the blade here, and a very unusual handle, and they give credit to Stroop, S-T-R-O-U-P, a custom knife maker who uses this pommel design quite often. So Kyle Lamb does mention that this was, I believe, done with the approval of Stroop, although I can't tell you if that's true 100%. I'm going to show you a screenshot here of a little bit of Kyle's background. You can freeze frame that. But basically, he is a retired U.S. Army Special Forces soldier, author, and entrepreneur, renowned for his expertise in tactical training and significant contributions to firearm instruction and military tactics. Served in the Army for 21 years. A substantial portion of that was dedicated to special operations, a founding member of the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment, Delta, commonly known as Delta Force. Participated in numerous combat operations. Anyway, you can read what was on the screen. It's called the Sokn. It is a purpose-driven fixed blade built for reverse grip use. And as you saw in the screenshot there, Stroop knives inspired handle. All right, we're not going to go on and on and on and read what you can read for yourself. And I'll give you the link so that you can see that for yourself as well. Very thin, very light. And we've got this clip going on here, which has 2 positions. You can mount it lower or higher with the 2 screws. You can mount it in the middle with the 2 screws. So you've got about 3 positions if you're using 2 screws. It's not inletted into the handle, but it is a flat ride on the handle with 2 flat-headed screws. I'm going to do some measurements first, and then we're going to start talking about the sheath and maybe do a little bit of mod on the sheath to show you both ways that it can be used, or really more than one way, more than 2 ways. Overall length of this knife, if I go right down to that Stroop-inspired pommel, we'll say 7 1/4 inches. And 2.8 overall length of the blade, or I should say blade length. Overall length was given before for the knife. And we're going to go to inches and then millimeters. On the handle, 0.36 inches, very slim. blade stock 0.11, fairly thin. Going back to the blade, 2.9 millimeters and 9 millimeters for the handle thickness. Let's see if I can find my scale here. Yep, prerequisite is to drop a few things in the process. Okay, so knife alone, and let's go around to grams, since I'm trying to do that for you guys who like your metric units. 84.24 grams and 2.97 ounces. Let's just call that 3 ounces, okay? 3 ounce knife. And if we add the sheath with the horizontal belt loops, we get 4.66. If I go back around to metric again, that is 132.22 grams with the sheath. Okay, so I think we got that covered. All right, so let's look at the sheath. Interesting, because the sheath is going to make sense of the clip. It comes set up with a Scout Carry double belt loop. As you probably already figured out, you can remove under one-way snaps, and they do hold on pretty good, which is a good thing. You can take this strap off and swing this strap around and go inside the pants, inside the waist, IWB, yada yada, and take this strap. Man, oh man. A lot of fun. You can take this strap and it will swivel. You can bring it up and loop it under the belt and snap it, etc. As a lot of sheaths come with only the one loop. 2 loops means it'll ride horizontally on your belt. Scout Carry would be in the back, so you reach behind you to pull the knife out, etc. Now, I'm going to go get something, Phillips head screwdriver, as a matter of fact. I'll be right back. You know, I had to insert this part of the video because I finished up and realized I didn't really talk about the jimping. Yes, it has jimping. It's good jimping. It's a long run of it, about 1.5 inches at least. And the other thing I just wanted to mention was, thin as it is, it fits pretty well in the hand as far as the thickness goes. This is designed to lock your hand in, okay? So in this position, you have your hand kind of sandwiched between the pommel and this groove here, okay? Swale or whatever you want to call it. In the reverse grip, which a lot of you may be interested in, you've got that perfect depression there for your thumb, or bring it all the way over like that, and you can really do a lot of reinforcement. So plunge grind wise, it looks as though you've got a good amount here for sharpening. You may or may not like the way it's set up. I don't get too fussy because I guess maybe I don't wear my edge off as quickly as some people, and therefore I'm not too worried about bringing that up. But I mean, you'd need to lose that much steel, and I think by then maybe you'd want to modify the shape of the blade. Anyway, a couple of little added pointers about that handle profile and use. Thank you. If this takes too long, I'll just cut the video and come back with them off. But basically, these are your Chicago type screws, I believe you'd call them. And these come off pretty easy. You may have to just, they're slotted on the other side, by the way, if you don't want to use a Phillips. So we take these guys off. Come on. A few more turns. That's what I meant about it taking a while. We'll set those aside. Okay. And that leaves us with grommets. I call them grommets. Almost done. They got a lot of thread on them, which is a good thing. If they loosen up, they won't be falling off too quick. And so now we see the mystery behind the clip, because this becomes a wave opening, if you want to call it that, like Emerson knives, but on the sheath, okay? And that's cut in, you see, pretty well. So if you carry an IWB using the straps, you can take the clip off. Comes off clean, and you just got that underneath, okay? But with the clip, I'm gonna run over here and get my off the grid pants. Great company, love them. Got a bunch of pairs of these. You can see it's nicely worn from where I carry a knife every day, even though I've got a few different colors of these. So there we go. That is what you got at the deepest carry. You can use the other screws and you can get this a little bit above. But basically, this is real easy to hook your finger under, and when it gets to this point, sheath comes off. Now, normally it would drop down into the pocket. That's one thing I'm a little suspect of with sheaths that are supposed to come off and pull in, drop it down into the pocket. And we can always try that again as well. But the idea being, I don't want to spend all day on this, or the whole video, but let's try it this way. Not that I have gravity working for me on the table, but once again, there you go. You pull this out a little bit to the rear, it's going to get up to this portion here, or it may actually snag a little earlier, I'm not sure, but that's the idea. You could tether this, that's another way to do it, to the belt with a piece of paracord, and that way if the sheath doesn't snag, the whole thing comes out and the static line snaps the sheath off like that. You got a lot of options. So if you don't like the option of using the sheath without the loops, you don't have to. You can put them in the pocket with the loops on if you want, for that matter. But that was the idea. Take the clip off, use it as a standard. You could even take the clip off and not use it. The clip, I believe, helps stabilize the knife. That's the whole concept behind it. Keeps it in the same place in the pants. And your success with using this is going to depend a lot upon what kind of pants you're wearing, how snug they are, so on and so forth. I haven't tried it a lot. This came in the other day. Wanted to make sure that you guys get to see it. And one other thing that we're going to do here before we do our compare is just check the edge out. And it is very keen and slicey, although I noticed not a lot of aggression to the edge, but I think definitely it would slice flesh. I'm not going to test it on my own flesh. What do we got? Well, let me show you one thing first. This is not for size compare by any means, but this is another Kyle Lamb design, Viking Tactics. This is the Norseman for tops knives. And yeah, quite a bit of difference there. This is 1095, I believe, in their acid rain finish. There's the logo once again that you see here, VTAC for short, Viking Tactics. I think at this point, they're using the full name on the tops knife. Oh, there it is, VTAC, right there. This is an awesome field knife, combat knife, whatever you want to call it. Look at the work. You seldom see that on a tops knife. Look at that. Vine jimping all the way down there with red liners. They put a lot of work in this knife. Nice sheath too, by the way. Excellent tops sheath. Snug, snaps in place. for compare, around the same price point, and this is manufacturer suggested a retail of about 90 bucks, 88, 89, something like that. I did get this from White Mountain. It's my own purchase, was not provided to me for review. So use my discount code if you're buying at White Mountain. It is OG-Blade for 10% off of your order. This is the Waxahachie, I believe that's how it's pronounced, from Sencut, which is a Civivi third tier down budget level. And that's a really neat little buoy style clip. And these are coming in, I think, only about 50, 50, something like that. They made this one out of 9CR MOV. So, you know, about a step down or so from the Nitro V, which is a little more pricey. And nice and lightened with the holes. Really great all-around utility blade. A little less tactically oriented than the Sokn. Almost forgot the name. And for further compare, here is the Spyderco Fred Perrin design pocket. Is it a pocket buoy? What is it? Street Beat. Street Beat, not the Street Bowie, Street Beat. And you can barely see that there, so there. It's all blacked out. And this is really a mainstay for a lot of people for a small, pocketable fixed blade. But right about the same length, right, slightly longer blade length because of the way this handle is set up. And I'm sure I'm missing some fine points as to carry and use of this, because it did just come out, and I looked around to see if, you know, Kyle calls this his lamb shank when he applied it to this knife. But you'll see the same thing on Stroop, and you'll see this on a lot of newer tactical knives, some of the Agent series from TKL. Of course, those are custom and a lot more pricey, but it's not quite that long. But this really does give you almost the same thing as a ring as far as snagging the knife and pulling it out quickly. Again, you can take the clip off if it's too wonky for you. You don't like the idea of a clip on a fixed blade. 2 screws and it's out. Probably T8. I didn't check. It looked like they're T8. Do I have another knife for compare? I thought I had a Terzolda design. Yes, I do. This is one by MKM, an Italian knife company. It's a TPF Defense, I believe is what they call it. And that's about the same size. Again, measuring the blade from the farthest forward portion of the handle scale, it's close to an inch longer, but overall length, because you got a lot of handle going on with this one. This is a pricey knife now. It's up over 200 bucks, even discounted. It's up over 200 bucks. It's Magna Cut. It's a neat little defensive pocket-sized knife, and you can get a Kydex for it as well as the leather. All right, what else can we say? Let's take another look around. Full tang, lanyard hole, another lanyard hole if you want to call it that. And you can use these to tie it down onto, you know, stick or something. Use it as a spear, survival situation. A lot of thought went into the knife by Kyle Lamb, I must say. And again, I'm sure there are carry methods and possibilities for it that I have not explored here. But there you go. And this may be one of the first reviews on this baby. I think it is shipping by now. So by the time you see this review in late April, this knife should be available from certainly White Mountain and Knife Center, Blade HQ, all of those guys. But I want to thank Justin for getting this to me a little bit ahead of time so I can share it with all of you. Be well, take care, and click right over here. You'll be able to subscribe to the channel by clicking on that logo that you see. Be well, stay safe.